Hello everyone, sorry about that guys, and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming.
Hey everyone.
We are back with part 12 of our Ecco the Dolphin Sega CD Let's
That we are.
Play. We are in Pterodon Pond.
That we are. We're back in the past.
And since we have the volume up, we may hear feedback, but...
Yeah. To swim around and get the last part of the Aesterite. I need to work on that. Hey,
I'm
we're
glad to hear the music is working this time.
Yep.
So Oh, they're doing this track for that. Interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that this would be used for the boss or something.
Yeah.
And it might be.
It probably will be.
'Cause I've heard the full soundtrack of the Sega CD version online.
This is true.
So that's how I know these tracks, and I'm like, oh, it was used here? Because I think either on Jurassic Beach, or if there's a level after this that's in the past, which I think there is, I thought they used a Sega CD version of the original Genesis music. I mean, this is very epic. It's a bit too epic. That's why I thought, isn't this for the final boss? Which, who knows? Maybe they use it for the final boss too.
Maybe.
Because it's Sega. Da-da-da. Which I don't mind. It's nice.
It is.
I used to, just for fun, write lyrics to music. I probably confessed to that before on here.
Yes, you did.
So I'm trying so hard not to start singing. I'm trying to protect myself and protect you guys.
Yeah, continue. Oh yeah, I need to...
Just in case you don't like it or won't mind it.
Oh, I think you have a great singing voice.
Well, thank you.
And I remember you sharing those songs with me.
Yeah. I gotta write more.
I think it was a spring day.
It was a day in spring. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, admittedly I do, kind of, every now and then, yeah.
Well, I'm touched that you enjoyed it that much.
Yeah, I did. Since I respawned, I guess I have to use one over here.
But the thing I liked about this track, I did like the violin. I think those are violin.
Violin?
Is it violin? No, maybe not violin. But the dun 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 part.
I see what you're saying.
I thought it was some kind of winged stringed instrument, not winged instrument. That would be interesting. It can fly.
It can fly, it can fly, it can fly, it can fly. Yeah, I think you're right, and it probably is a stringed instrument.
Yeah. Because basically they're showing off that this can do CD sound.
Yeah.
And it's not all synthesized like the Genesis soundtrack. Which I do still stand by what I said previously, that I prefer the Genesis soundtrack. That is still true. But I am showing this one love as well. I'm not saying I don't like the Sega CD soundtrack. And that's what I have to explain to people a lot. Like, sometimes when I'm saying I like something better than the other thing, it's not always that I dislike the other thing.
Found the air pocket.
Because I feel like sometimes people act like it's the same thing as saying I don't like the other thing.
Right.
So I do try my best to specify.
I fully understand, considering I remember once being thought that I wanted something when the reality was I was just highlighting something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't me, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah. Exactly. So, I do feel like I have to specify. Which, I'm like a huge video game music nerd.
Yep.
So, I like a lot of video game soundtracks. If I like the video game, you can probably guarantee I'm gonna like the soundtrack. Because that's a big part of the experience.
Yes.
I also love how it abruptly just stops all the music when you die, and it gives you the checkpoint. That's really cool.
I agree.
So yeah, I am somebody who will spend money willingly on a video game soundtrack, and I have multiple times.
Yes.
And I wish I could have given my money to buy the Ecco the Dolphin soundtrack, but they only did a CD with a selection of the Sega CD tracks, with like, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 from this one and the remainder from the second one. So like, I don't know, between 8 and 10 tracks maybe. That CD, I'm guessing there weren't many printed of it because it is rare. And I can't find the CD. Like, I could only find vinyl copies, and they're insanely expensive. You know, we were talking about $400 video games. I'm talking about a $400 vinyl.
$400 for a vinyl?
Of Ecco the Dolphin music, yes.
Holy fart.
Yes. And then I found one that I don't know if it's official, but it suspiciously had the cover of Ecco the Dolphin from the Sega Genesis, so I thought it might not have been official. Because as far as I know, I don't think there was any official release of the Genesis music on a soundtrack. Let me know if I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. If there's somebody who's watching this who's more obsessive about Ecco than I am, like to the point where you actually know this, please. Because I learned this stuff from somebody else's website, so
Yes.
And the CD, I believe, was made in Europe. I don't think it was released here. Because Aesterite location. Evidence indicates dark water zone.
Wow.
That's a very weird way to word it.
Ooh, that was dangerous.
Yes. But like, so I feel like up until relatively recently, the market in the US did not put a lot of importance in video game soundtracks.
No, they did not. I can state that.
Yes, but there is a big market for it in Japan, and a market for it in Europe, which I'm not sure if it's a niche market, but it exists. at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why, they had the CD made. I would love to find a CD copy, and I would love for it to be affordable.
Yeah.
Because this was on eBay, by the way. I could not find it anywhere else. And the person who has it knows. Well, they know how rare it is. The evil son of a gun.
Yes.
Or daughter, or non-binary individual related to a gun. Sorry. Just trying to include everybody here. It just came out awkward.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. But you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Oh well, at least it was kind of funny. At least I got a laugh out of you, right?
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway, yes, so I...
there it is.
And I have other CDs I've been meaning to look up that I think will also be insanely expensive if I can find them.
This is true.
But yeah, when I was in Japan, I spent a lot of money on video game soundtracks. Because I realized you could actually go to a physical store and get them off of the shelf. You didn't have to order them online. I was in heaven.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And to go to a retro video game store, and they would have shelves upon shelves dedicated to video game soundtracks. It was so beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Echo?
Oh boy. I think we just hit a glitch.
We did, and we just documented it on the show.
This is bad.
Yeah, he's bobbing his head and his noses.
Yeah.
And he's stuck in the rock.
Try wiggling the directions a little bit. Okay, nope. Which, by the way, I did look into people speedrunning Ecco the Dolphin, and they do use camera glitches. Where they, like...
Trying to nudge him, but it's probably not going to be...
Yeah, this is probably going to be a slow and painful death.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do camera glitches that allow them to go through walls. And that's how they would beat some levels insanely easily, because they could just go right to the exit. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was sad.
It is sad.
But yeah, anyway, I like those kind of speedruns where they utilize the game. Like glitches you could do without editing anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we learned that.
We are stuck here.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the thing to get out, but unfortunately I keep running out of air.
But yeah, I have the tendency to... I haven't written down video game lyrics in a while, but I have a tendency to update them a lot.
Gotcha.
Because, especially the ones I wrote as a child, where... I don't know, I just maybe was more casual about it than now, where I want to express something different, or just came up with something I liked more.
You're very deep and well-written lyrics.
Thank you.
I still think of the one you wrote for the bonus of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Ah, okay, yes, that one.
Yeah, that one.
I'm like, I wonder which one he'll name. But
that
yes, yes, the Sonic the Hedgehog bonus music.
Yep, I still think fondly of that.
Cool. Yeah, that one was one of my simpler ones, but yes.
Yeah.
I do like that one.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time faves.
It's one of those things where I'm like, too bad I can't get Sega to pay me so I could make it official, but
That would be nice.
yeah. And it's not really a good atmosphere for me to share it publicly, but maybe one day.
That'd be cool.
If there is some kind of huge demand for it. I'm always unsure. I don't know if people will like my voice, because some people have given me positive feedback about my singing voice, and other people have been like, no, your voice is horrible, you're always off key, and
yes.
well, I mean, they don't
I'm
say
surprised
always,
hearing who said that.
yeah, they're like, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, maybe it's just, different people have different opinions. We can't all be, what's a good example that a lot of people objectively like the singing voice of this person?
Where do I begin?
I know interests are subjective. I was just trying to think of...
Yeah.
Well, we can't all be Madonna, I guess.
All right.
A lot of people like Madonna. That works, right?
I think so. I presume so. I'd be shocked if it didn't.
A lot of angry people in the comments. The 5 people that don't like Madonna will be like, no, Madonna's a terrible example. I'm kidding.
I can't deny that
I'm
Madonna has a good singing voice, even though I am more of a Cyndi Lauper fan, but...
Oh... Maybe I just haven't heard the right Cyndi Lauper songs.
Oh.
Because I almost kind of prefer Madonna's voice.
Well, I'll sum it up to you like this. Madonna has a conventionally wonderful singing voice. And Cyndi has a very good singing voice, but a lot of people can't ignore the accent.
Oh, the accent doesn't bother me. Like I said, I think I've just heard the wrong Cyndi Lauper songs.
Understandable.
Which are probably, sadly, the most popular ones. Where her voice is just a little too bubbly for me. So it's not an issue with the accent at all. It's more just the tone, I guess. It's probably also just because it was overplayed a lot on the radio. Sing the song In the Air to Call the Pterodon.
Gotcha.
And it's not like Madonna's my favorite singer in the world either, because I think the types of songs she sings are not always my cup of tea. They're kind of... yeah.
Well, I like Madonna's...
I like her voice.
Voice as well.
Yeah.
Though I will add that, yes, considering I was just reminded, because I was doing a deep dive of music and from the 80s, and I was reminded about some of the... I guess it was romantic and heartfelt, but it was a bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah, we have that joke about boring 80s ballads.
Yeah.
That are just ballads that we personally found were boring.
Yeah.
The part 2 of that is the boring 90s ballads that are like early 90s ballads.
Yes.
That.
Because when it comes to Madonna, with her more iconic works like a Virgin, I kind of prefer that.
Yeah.
And some of the more her songs that have like a punch or a bite,
Yeah.
like the high energy stuff,
Yeah.
over the I'm half awake.
The safe stuff that they tend to go to.
Yeah. Yes, let me guess. The synthy music sounded iconic to a certain person who picked this song as an iconic 80s tune, but
Yeah.
there are other songs that had even better synth. Like, for example, her song Lucky Star is slightly better, I think.
I don't know if I've heard that one. But yay, we made it!
Yay! Have we mind to take a picture of this?
Virgin Beach.
Thanks, bud. Origin Beach.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, I have to eventually explore more of the discography. Because I've really enjoyed that, listening to songs on Spotify to discover...
Whoa.
Wow.
That choral in the background.
Yeah. Such an interesting background.
It is.
Exploring to find, discover songs that I missed because maybe they weren't played on the radio or not played a lot. Because sometimes with certain artists I've discovered, sometimes I can like their songs and it's just that I didn't like the song they were obsessively playing on the radio.
Right.
Because that song happened to top the charts. You know, kind of like with Smash Mouth, where this is not a good example because this is two songs on the radio where I liked one of them better, but let me try to think of a different example. What's a good example? Aqua.
Yay!
Aqua is a good example. You made it too. Where, you know, we all like Barbie Girl just fine, but it gets annoying. It gets kind of grating after a while.
It is.
And, gosh, I wish I remembered the name of the song, but I found a different song on that album that was a little more like a serious love song that I just enjoyed a lot more than Barbie Girl, but it wasn't Barbie Girl. It wasn't
right.
iconic in the way that Barbie Girl is.
Yeah. Now, just a refresher, they didn't do Where's My Samurai? Or did they?
I know it sounds like them, but I think it was a different group.
Okay, good.
And that's called Butterfly.
Butterfly, that's it.
I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure it was a different group whose name escapes me.
I didn't remember who it was either, that's why I asked.
I know it sounds like that singer.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Aqua, but I wanted to make absolute sure.
Yeah, because I think if it was Aqua, it would have the male singer doing one part like, "Hey girl, I'm your samurai," you know.
"Hey girl, I'm your samurai."
Exactly. Exactly. Because
Yeah.
they were kind of... It almost felt like they were going for an updated B-52s, right?
Yeah, were they?
Sort of.
Interesting.
Not exactly, but it kind of gave me that vibe.
Interesting.
But yeah, they are very iconic. I like the not often tapped on male backup singer who has parts where he's doing a solo part.
Right.
That wasn't as popular as I thought it would be.
Yeah. I mean, we did learn eventually that the
Yeah.
group is Danish, which explains her unique pitch of voice.
Yes.
So...
And I think...
Whoa, I destroyed that thing.
I think that's part of what made this song so iconic. And, you know, it was talking about Barbie.
Yeah.
The people who thought it was celebrating Barbie were happy, and the people who thought they were poking fun at Barbie were happy. You know, it kind of made everybody happy.
Yeah.
So,
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
yeah. So, I mean, it's a song I like, but got grating, and I just, listening to that album, I felt like...
I remember it being played endlessly in the summer of '97, so...
yeah, and, like, I noticed that, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah, go ahead.
that the songs in their next album, I don't even know if they were played on the radio over here.
Yeah, a lot of people completely forgot about them after Barbie Girl.
Yeah, and they had at least 2 more albums. I'll have to look. They might have even had 3. But if you asked people over here, they would say Barbie Girl's a one-hit wonder.
Yes.
And
They would say that.
I would promptly, angrily tell them they're wrong. I hope You Know Who didn't call them a one-hit wonder. But I wouldn't be surprised if You Know Who. The same person who's on my
Yes,
on my blacklist because of
I think I know who you're talking
because
about.
of what he said about Eiffel 65.
Now, when we do make that music chow, we'll have him to be the primary reason why it exists.
I'll be like, I'm doing this video because of you, so thanks.
Yes. Of the Shadows, man, yes.
Spoon. If you guys saw our Rayman part, you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, and if you're watching, well, you should have done better, my man.
If you're watching, wow, you're an Echo fan? Maybe I misjudged you.
Yeah.
It takes a special person to be an Echo fan.
Yes, it is. It really does.
You know, sometimes I wonder if Ed Annunziata has seen our stuff.
Oh, that would be, like, amazing.
Because there was a post one time where he said something about he does his best to watch Echo. Like, when people talk about Echo, he tries to watch that. Which is both amazing and makes me a bit sad because I know all the people who have their negative opinions.
That would be like meeting a rock star if
I know.
he watches our videos.
That would drive me crazy. That would be the equivalent of, like, you do a cover of a Lady Gaga song and Lady Gaga listens to your cover, you know.
Yes.
It would be insane.
Yeah, it would be insane. Like, ooh,
whoa,
trilobite circle.
We're just
and
we're at 28, but we'll end on this level.
All right,
if we
got a picture?
die or if we get past it.
Got it.
Good.
Yeah.
Circle. Yep. All right. I don't have to keep Origin Beach then.
All right.
Oh man, yes, that would be crazy. And now I don't know if he's seen our stuff because we're a small channel, but
wow, he shot small.
Yes, he did. But he did see. Well, I think the reason he saw this person's video is he was actually interviewed for that video, but and you know, sometimes some of the oddest, you know, no offense, but some of the oddest podcasts interview him. Like, we found out the news about the Echo remakes on somebody's, like, Xbox podcast, and I'm like,
Xbox.
I'm happy that they interviewed him, but I'm like, Xbox, unless the person who wrote that article was mistaken. But maybe they're. Well, that was scary.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe there just aren't a bunch of people doing Sega podcasts.
That's shocking and
Or
disturbing.
maybe if they are, they're not like talking about Ecco the Dolphin, which if you aren't, shame on you. It's a big part of Sega.
Yeah. Arguably the number 2 to Sonic's number 1.
Yeah, my personal bias says so.
Yeah.
I know I am biased, but...
Yeah. My heart tells me that, along with Phantasy Star and...
Yeah.
Can't think of a Kirby equivalent.
Oh gosh, I don't know either. Super Monkey Ball? No, that's not a good one. That kind of had a cult following, though.
Yeah. Alright. Well, hopefully you've all had a happy June.
We'll just try one more time, because I know we're out of time. And
Yeah.
this is, yes, we hope you've been enjoying our new videos.
Yep.
And the classics as well.
And somebody I follow... Oh, yeah. Well, this would be too deep of a topic to get into this episode, but...
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
But did somebody you follow mention Echo?
Well, somebody I followed almost lost their channel because of something stupid, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can talk about that behind the scenes, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well,
see you later.
take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.